I'm now going to introduce Mr. Aminou Akadiri in his capacity as CEO of the Federation of West Africa Chambers of Commerce and Industry and the Executive Director of the African Business Council. Ambassador Aminou Akadiri is an expert in private sector development and promotion with more than 20 years experience in regional and continental economic integration, especially in the creation of community enterprise and cross-border trade and investment. In the past, he has served as the consultant and expert of ECOWAS Commission for drafting ECOWAS policies, protocols on agriculture, industry, investment and competition, payment systems and guarantee mechanisms, as well as quality systems. He also holds a regional focal point organizations of Pacific Caribbean States, OACPS for West Africa. He's also the vice president of the Francophone South and Tripartite Cooperation Network, as well as vice president of the OACPS Business Forum. Thank you, and we welcome you for joining us. Mr. Aminou Akadiri, if you'd like to open with any comments.
Thank you very much, Melissa. It's a pleasure for me to be here. You make a very wonderful presentation on me. Even you go beyond. Thank you very much for that one. And let me appreciate Anne Wambai Gaita and Ngozi Oyewole, who introduced me to this platform. I didn't believe that I can come and have this opportunity to share, to discuss with you. Let me take also this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Teddy Sombramania for your election as new president of Commercial Business Council. Commercial Business Council is a key participant in Africa Union Business Council, led by Dr. Amani Ashfo, and that will be a pleasure for us to work with you. Also with my brother, John Bosco Kalisa. As the head of state said, private sector have to come as one in the region if we need to achieve the objective of boosted inter-African trade. And having a platform like this, platform for discussion, dialogue, exchange is very, very key for us to know who we are, what we can do together, and how we can do business together. We at FEWASI in West Africa, what we do is we make business happen to everybody. Thank you very much. Over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aminou. And really, these sessions are exactly as you've put it and so well articulated there to say, these sessions are not just really an information session, it's a dialogue. It's to see how we can take all of the information that we have, all of the knowledge, all of the skills, the expertise, and actually drive this conversation further after this conference. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Aminou. Mr. Aminou, thank you so much again for joining us. In terms of my question for you is, how is the Federation of West Africa Chambers of Commerce and Industry ensuring that there is a private sector development and that more trade is happening in West African countries and investments in the region? Can you share what you're doing in terms of that, in making it a reality?
Thank you very much, Melissa. For me, for not repeating what John and President Teddy said, we as a business support organization, our role is to make sure that we have enabling and friendly business environment. That is very key to make a business happen and to seize all the opportunity. So that is what we do. But to have that one, we need a very good platform for private sector. We in West Africa, the Federation of West African Chamber of Commerce was created since 1970 as the fulcrum for trade and investment in West Africa. And we were the pioneer of organized private sector in West Africa, even before the creation of ECOWAS. I make this linkage because we are here in ECOWAS. I'm addressing you here from ECOWAS Commission in Abuja. We are representing private sector inside the ECOWAS. Why we are here is that we serve as a platform for private sector to bring our position and view in all the policy and instrument was putting in place for trade and investment. So having a very good business development is to have a private sector actor that's come with the same view. We want to do business. How are we going to do business? We need a very clear and good legal framework. What type of legal framework that it's put in place? How are we bringing our position in this platform? So the treaty at ECOWAS level enabled private sector to initiate, formulate, and even participate in the implementation for ECOWAS policy. We provide our position to ECOWAS to say, we as private sector, this is what we want. If I take the example for the founding father for the federation, when the federation was set up, I say we need to be have our entry to the head of state summits so that we can bring our position. So we got the observer status to ECOWAS statutory meeting. Through that statutory meeting, we are able to address the key issue. We discover in the year 70 that we needed to trade, but to trade we need financial instruments. That will bring us to create a company, EcoBank. I will come on it later to fully explain to it, to make a business happen in the West Africa. So our role is that we play an important role in promoting intra-regional partnership through harmonization of private sector activity, the promotion of our joint venture, like I explained to EcoBank creation in our sector. We promote a good governance, and we build the capacity of our members. But what we believe is that the entry into force of the CFTA is an opportunity for private sector where we can come jointly and work forward to have active engagement to support our members. So if we need to have a very good private sector actors working in having a market, open market to our members, we need to make sure that any challenge our business people are having on the road to cross border, to trade with the other people in another country, we make sure that we have this facility. So that is what we are doing here at PWASI, that we are supporting the business, and having a CFTA is also a good platform for us to engage with our members in other countries like in East Africa or in South Africa to do business.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aminou. I love that you mentioned the word partnerships. I think it's integral that we start to think that way. We start to think in the form of collaboration as well within the private sector. So when we can start speaking to each other, ultimately we're all aiming for the same goal, and working together through those partnerships will then eventually lead to achieving that goal. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Mr. Aminou, you have experienced working at the ECOWAS Commission and drafting ECOWAS policies and protocols in various industries. Can you share the best practices that the West African nations are doing to increase the opportunities in regional trade? Over to you, Mr. Aminou.
Thank you once again, Melissa. Yes, so what we do in West Africa for this kind of opportunity that ECOWAS region is not the region that's how to explain who we are in ECOWAS or what West Africa region is. But what I can pull out is that if ECOWAS region have been to have a concrete region results in the context for deepening regional economic integration, because private sector here are very, very vibrant. Private sector are very vibrant, and because we also have one key protocol since year 70s is the protocol on the free movement of person, good, and right of establishments. My generation, we used to call ourselves generation no visa. When you ask me that you are going to get a visa, in my mind, you are traveling to Europe or to America, but having visa to travel in West Africa is not possible. So that is the key protocol that we have in West Africa. This protocol is set up everything in West Africa. Either we have a policy on agriculture, policy in investments, policy in climate change, policy in whatever is derived from the protocol of free movement of person, good, or for right establishment, because we need to move each other. When you take West Africa, you can move from Nigeria, Lagos to Abidjan within the day. It's not common for everywhere in Africa. I'm saying this to show you how we do business here. And the second protocol that we at private sector, we are working on, that we are happy to have, is a protocol on community enterprises. This protocol is very key for the business, even within the implementation of a CFTA. The protocol said when two citizens come together to create a business, we can give them the community enterprises recognition. That means if I'm in Nigeria, I create my company, I can work in Benin, Togo, in all West African countries. It's like the Eco Bank that I was explaining before, that the founding father of FEWASI, they said, if we want the regional integration to work, we should have a business where the citizen, what I mean citizen is all the ECOWAS member should have a share. So when I have a share in the company, that means that nothing can happen in that business. If, for example, there are issues in Mali or in Burkina Faso, and the company that we created is within the region, by the time we are lobby at FEWASI to make sure that that's a challenge, we work out that challenge, we can start in doing business in Benin or in Togo or even in Nigeria. That is the spirit of this community enterprises that I'm explaining to you. So what we have as a successful results in West Africa is that within the protocol, we create ASKY Airline. ASKY is the airline company, but can you believe that the key partner, the technical partner inside ASKY is Ethiopian Airline? So we work with Ethiopian Airline to have this type of company to serve the region. We also work on the Sea-Link Maritime project, is to connect all the West Africa coastal region. But when we were working on that Sea-Link, our counterparts in Central Africa were interested, even South Africa were interested to join us to work together. By the day we are getting these community enterprises, Morocco came in and said, we want to be observer in this company. So that is a type of successful experience that we have in West Africa, that we believe that if we want to succeed in implementation of a CFTA, we have to work on that area. Let us assume that we identify 5 key projects in Africa. And we say we want to have a technical partner or investor from South Africa, from Morocco, from Egypt to come together to work on these products. I believe that the product can easily move around the Africa. So what I can suggest that if we can come together with such kind of a business that I believe that the private sector can do, is to have this type of company, and we monitor the implementation for the next 2-3 years to see how we are working to get the CFTA successful. West Africa, we are about 5 million consumers here. And when you add the 5 million consumers to other regions, you can see where we can go. I was 2 weeks ago in a meeting in Yaoundé with a researcher, and they were asking me, what can we do together between private sector and researcher? And I just quickly do a table. I discovered that West Africa and Central Africa, they are 40% of Africa in terms of population, 40% in terms of land, and 40% in terms of consumer. But we are very close. So imagine when we link West Africa and Central Africa with FDC, with other countries, imagine what we can get as a private sector. So that is the spirit of FEWASI that will lead to support the creation of African Union Business Council to work with other regions of Africa. Over to you, Melissa, please.
Incredible. Mr. Aminou, that is just absolutely amazing to hear. You know, it's when you speak, it's also you speak with living in the future. I love that you raised the AFCFTA and you really are planning around that. And we had the honor and privilege of actually meeting Honorable Wamkele Mene at the AWT conference that we attended, and he is really working so hard to start activating those routes as you are trying to find those ways to start to move product. And it's incredibly important that we start to think that way. In all of your answers, it's just wonderful to see how you're planning for the future and you gravitating towards it so strategically. It's wonderful to hear that. Thank you, Mr. Aminou.
You're welcome. I believe that doing business abroad is to export mainly our material, our raw material without any transformation. The second that I can pull out is that when we access a market abroad, we have a large demands that we cannot address. For example, some African countries were under AGOA, and when they start were exporting to America, they cannot face the demand. So having regional markets will allow us, for example, to have a cooperation where we can have supply, we can bring together some products to supply in our country. You see, there are some companies that are not able to provide products to their community, to their states, even to the country, but they want to work abroad. Mm-hmm. There are some companies that they want to sell products in the next country, but they don't have this capability. So what we are supporting in West Africa is to make sure that we let business people know each other. I'm here in West Africa, I'm producing mango, and somebody is in say South Africa or in any other country who is in the same sector like me, how we can come together, exchange our experience. What do I need to strengthen the quality of my products? Do I need a package? Do I need a training? That's what we are doing within the African Union Business Council framework to make sure that, for example, West can meet East. We have this type of project is an initiative from one of our consultants that we are supporting, how West can meet East, how business people in West can work with SOG in East, for example, in Nigeria and Kenya, how they can come together, or Ghana and Kenya, how they can come together, that within the framework of AFCFTA, they can exchange, they can transport their products. By doing so, we will discover that there are the need to put in place an infrastructure to transform our local material. That will help us to serve all our region before going abroad. Because for now, I think that we don't have this capability. Our SME don't have this capability to go out of Africa, to go to international markets to put their products. What they have to do, what is very important for them now, is how we can bring together SMEs. That's why I really appreciate what John Bosco said about ITC. We are doing same in West Africa here with our ITC support to make sure that we have the platform where we have a youth, women, they come together, they exchange, and they do business together. Our role as a business organization is to make sure that we provide for them, enable business environment. I will end my presentation if you give me just 2 minutes to read this. I'm very, very happy to have it anytime I'm having my meeting. Is from His Excellency Dr. Albert Mushenga, Commissioner for Trade and Industry of African Union. He said, private sector should stay by the government of member state side to take strategic position and effectively utilize the trade platform for regional and global expansion. That's what Dr. Mushenga said. But my president, Mr. Famoto in Kiwasi, he said, it's when private sector and public sector, researcher and academia come together in enabling business environment to invest that we can achieve the objective of continental integration. So in our region, we need to come together as private sector. We need to work with government to see the policy they are putting in place. Is it favorable for us? Where are the business opportunity in each of this business policy? Thank you very much. It was a very good pleasure for me to have you, to be on this platform. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aminou. Really appreciate it.